There's people that I put in a category that have too much money and they've lost touch with reality. I put Oprah, Donald Trump, and now I think Russell Wilson in that category.
That is, Scott, thanks for the call, man. That's rarefied air right there. I love that. We had a little bit of this with Tom Brady a couple years ago too. Like, like open mouth making out with his kids, kind of weird.
Yeah, that was a wild moment.
So maybe he's right. Maybe you just get in this echo chamber. You don't have anybody in your life to tell you that's weird. This sandwich is not spicy. Things like that.
It's spicy.
It's spicy.
Also, did you see the video of him? He was replicating his warm-ups and he was acting like he was slapping his teammates' hands, but there were no teammates there. He was just
practicing the high five.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Which sometimes you see basketball players do, like they'll shoot a free throw and like if it's a technical, they'll go and just do the motion.
You gotta envision.
See it to believe it.
Yeah,
right. That's right.
He's running out of the building and like high fiving nothing on the way out there. Oh, it's amazing. All right, well, I can't wait till the next break for you guys to see this. It's absolutely fantastic. But guys, well, first of all, how'd you enjoy your weekend? Should Carolina play every Thursday? Can we make this happen?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, very, very much. Watched multiple games. Watched the Braves, obviously.
Oh yeah,
get that in real quick. But
is that the reigning World Series champ Braves?
Yes, and about to be 5-time division champ. Braves.
Just making sure it's the right one.
Watch Kentucky Ole Miss, watch the Clemson game, watch some Wake Forest, Florida State, went back and forth with that in Arkansas and Alabama.
What was your favorite game of the weekend?
Probably Kentucky Ole Miss. I mean, that was a good game. Two like competing philosophies as well, which is always interesting. Some high drama at the end, some sloppy things that led to a winner, and that was a good game. Had a little bit of everything.
That was definitely the worst special teams game of the entire weekend. Kentucky botching the extra points. I think they had a miss. Did they have a missed field goal in there too?
I believe they did. Yes.
And Ole Miss gave up like multiple big returns that almost cost him the game. And Will Levis with just like, NFL fumble after NFL fumble. That dude's just got all the makings of an NFL player.
I heard y'all talking about that earlier. Did you see Lane Kiffin with the little shade?
Oh yeah,
in his press conference. Not a little shade, a lot.
19 points for the number one pick in the draft.
Lane is a massive troll. I mean, and he's so good that you really can't tell if he may have some moments of seriousness. But he's just so he's so
not even
adept
smiling through the cracks.
No, there's no just complete deadpan seriousness. It was phenomenal.
Lane Kiffin is. Most people in that job feel like they have to have some level of like seriousness about it. Most people feel like, I have to win to feed my family. Lane is at the point now. I mean, he's like, what do you call it when you like fall upward so many times? And he's gotten paid to not coach, and now he's an SEC coach that can approach his job, kind of just with the. I'm here and I'm going to do and say what I want. And that is a level of, first of all, he has a level of pettiness that we can all only aspire to reach. But he's such a funny, just smart aleck that, I don't know. It's impressive. I still don't know if you want Lane to be your coach, like of your team.
I do.
But I sure enjoy watching
I want Lane to coach LSU.
Be the coach of other teams.
He won 10 games for the first time in Mississippi history last year, and now he's got himself another top 10 team. I think I'm the first time I ever heard anyone use the expression "born on third and thinks he hit a triple" was used to describe Lane Kiffin, and I was pretty anti-Lane for a while, but I feel like he did his time. FAU was his FAU and Alabama, those were like his little kind of rehab his image stint. I think he's like legitimately one of the better coaches in the SEC right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt on whether or not he can coach ball for sure. That's always been a thing, and I think he also does a pretty solid job in recognizing how he got into the coaching profession, why he got his start. But he's not he doesn't rest on those laurels. So yeah, obviously he had some advantages coming in, but there's no doubt that he's a really good football coach.
Yeah, he's really the inheritor of the Spurrier crown, isn't he? For the SEC offense, quips, because Mike Leach is funny, but Mike Leach, I mean, Lane is just like bitingly sarcastic, and Leach is borderline slapstick.
Yeah, and Lane just very much does things his own way. You know,
Right.
like Spurrier would be kind of just like, not that he was unstructured, but it was just so loosey goosey, and we'll just do this, or nah, we won't do that today.
Yeah.
You know, and Lane. I know Wes mentioned I think last week that, you know, if you talk to some people that have worked with or for Lane in the past, it's kind of all over the place, but that's probably part of what makes him good, you know. But as a play caller, he's a complete genius. I feel like it's almost a disservice to everyone if Lane doesn't end up at Auburn. Like, I don't like the dysfunction of those two parties, like, because Auburn tried to the administration tried to stage their own coup against the boosters by being like, we are going to hire the most straight-laced guy possible in Brian Harsin. Horrible fit, right? But we're going to hire him because he is not what the boosters want. And now I could see them going, all right, let's go back in the crazy Auburn. And Lane tried to get that job last year when it was open, according to people in Ole Miss that I've talked to. Would he now? I have no idea, but it would be perfect.
Now I have something to pull for the rest of the season.
What did y'all think about Wisconsin firing Paul Chryst? Did y'all talk about
that? We have not talked about that yet. Should I have known that was coming?
I don't think so.
I was going to say that really felt like it came out of left field for me. And then those are the moments when I'm like, am I just not plugged in enough? I was very surprised.
The interesting thing is all the national reports are saying that Wisconsin made the move because they want Jim Leonard, their DC, to get the job, which is kind of strange because if he doesn't do well, then, you know, they'll just have to go hire somebody. I guess if he does, then they'll hire him. But let me give you a coaching candidate for that. David Hookstead. I very much hesitate to give this guy some publicity on Twitter, and I say it just because he's getting roasted, has posited that Wisconsin, given their great academics and outstanding campus, should at least call Nick Saban and gauge his interest.
You know what? Make him tell you no.
That's what he says. He'll probably say no, but you at least have to pick up the phone.
Wow.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Or you could save the amount of time it took you to pick up the phone and make. I thought you were going to say Will Muschamp, honestly, the way you were pausing over there.
No.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I've never liked firing a coach in the middle of the season. I don't remember if it was I don't remember if it was the extra points or if it was Felder. I was reading somebody's newsletter the other day, and I think it was the extra points, and he was like, pretty much it's never a good idea to fire your coach after a month of the season. Either you should have done it before the season, or you should wait until the end. So I guess, but yeah, if you want Leonard to take over, you're just setting him up to fail in the interim, you know?
Yeah, I guess they just felt like it was going to come at the end of the year anyway. They just felt like the overall trajectory wasn't there, and so they just went ahead and did it immediately. And then if you know you're going to do it, if you do it at the end of the year and you hire a new coach, then the possibility of giving Jim Leonard a chance during the season may not be there because the new coach, which wouldn't be very wise.
Wouldn't you want to give him an off season?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want like half of the players to? I mean, I don't think the players are going to rebel because they probably already trust him because he was on the staff. But
yeah,
it doesn't seem like a lot of the players there are happy that Chris is gone.
Well, that's the interesting thing because they, as reported, they wanted to do it to keep Jim Leonard in the fold, which is always risky with the interim head coach sitting title, however you want to, however you do that. That I don't think that's worked. I haven't seen it work yet. But also, one of the big complaints about Wisconsin football is that it's sort of insular, it's kind of stale. They do the same thing, and well, you're just gonna hire another Wisconsin guy that just does the same thing over.
Yeah.
So
and a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It's interesting. I was sort of caught off guard by it because you don't tend to think of those schools as being as wacky as we are. I guess I didn't think they were as silly about football as we are in these parts.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they won like 4 games in the COVID year, maybe. And then last year
they only played Didn't they only play like 5 or 6 games or 7? Like
I thought they played 10. I thought they were like 4 and 6 maybe.
We got a Wisconsin listener. I don't know if he's listening.
Oh yeah,
there is a Wisconsin listener out there. I don't know if he's listening now, but we would love to have your insight at some point during the week.
That'll be good. Look at us talking about the rest of college football, which we never get a chance to do over here. This is great. It was
all
really
because
fun
we played on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll talk about a couple other. Wes has a note from the weekend that he wants to get to as well. We will talk some more Carolina throughout the course of the hour here. 803-404-6100. If you guys want to weigh in again, anything that you saw over the weekend that you want to get to from a fun weekend of college football, a little more space for that on a Monday than we typically have in the Gamecock Central Hour, but let us know. 803-404-6100 and get all of us on Twitter at Pearson Fowler, at Coach P Tweets, at Wes Mitchell GC, and at GC Chris Clark.
The early game with Bill Gunter and Jen Jensen.
South Carolina does what they need to do. They won a game by 36. They blew someone out. They ran the football. Those things you can at least be positive about this morning.
Yep, no doubt. You finally got to be sitting in Williams-Brice Stadium in the fourth quarter, and you were able to relax a little bit. I think one thing that Shane said one time is dead on, and I really appreciate the fact that he said it. Hey, we're always going to celebrate wins.
On your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
This is Damon Amendolara with your CBS Sports Minute. Well, Panthers fans should be waking up today asking, what are we even doing here? In year 3 of the Matt Rule experience, Carolina is 1-3. The QB situation still stinks. The crowds are getting more sparse, and the future is dim. So again, what exactly are we doing here? This is Damon Amendolara.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text JUDGE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 321-321. That's JUDGE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
How does a car repair shop last in business for over 50 years like Sudduth Automotive? By providing affordable, reliable, and honest auto repair. But if you ask them, they'll tell you it's their loyal customers who come back time and time again to entrust them with their car repairs. Well-trained technicians, service packages, and monthly specials. Isn't it time you became a customer? Call or come by at 1410 North Millwood Avenue or make an appointment at SudduthAuto.com.
Football season is grilling season, and Jack Oliver's Pool Spa and Patio is South Carolina's premier source for the Big Three. Weber, Traeger, and Big Green Egg Grills. Blackstone Griddles, too. I'm Jack Oliver. Grill all your tailgate favorites to perfection with a premium gas, charcoal, or pellet grill, then top it all off with something sizzling from your Blackstone Griddle. For grills, griddles, patio furniture, hot tubs, and saunas, shop in store or online at Jack Oliver's Pool Spa and Patio, Forest Drive in Columbia, and JackOliverPools.com.
Hey, if you've got a hole in your roof or you need a whole new roof, you need to call Mid-State Roofing, 356-1919. For nearly a quarter of a century, Mid-State Roofing has established its reputation as the leader in the roofing industry. Whether it's above your head or at your feet, perhaps a leaky foundation, 356-1919 is the number to call for all your roofing and waterproofing needs. The quality and craftsmanship of a Mid-State roofing system are tops in the industry, especially commercial and industrial roofing systems. If you own or you're in charge of a large building, warehouse, or industrial facility, then you're in charge of that roof. And at some point, a roof is going to need some attention. So the number to call for advice, service, results, and a commitment to customer satisfaction is 356-1919. See all that Mid-State has to offer when you click on MidStateRoofing.com. Tell them, Mid-State twins.
If you have a leak, let Mid-State Roofing take a peek.
356-1919, MidStateRoofing.com.
If your home or business suffers water damage from a storm, the professionals at Polium Restoration are ready to roll fast 24/7. We're the largest restoration company in the Midlands, with our own technicians, equipment, and the fastest response time guaranteed. At Pulliam 24/7, we'll get your property back to its pre-loss condition fast. Pulliam Restoration. Pulliam247.com. 803 Pulliam.
Football season is upon us, and there's nothing better than watching your favorite team with company in a clean home. With over 1,800 Google reviews and a 4.9 star rating, Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning is the most highly reviewed cleaning company in the Midlands. Their patented no residue cleaning system gets your carpets, rugs, and upholstery insanely clean. Take advantage of their fall sale going on now. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 1075 The Game. Easily schedule your cleaning online at zerorezcolumbia.com.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour.
Presented by Firehouse Subs. Founded by firemen with Pearson Fowler,
Chris Clark, and Wes Mitchell
on the home of the Gamecocks.
1075 The Game.
11:23 Monday morning. Welcome back into the Extra Point. A little bit of an unusual Monday, talking about everything else that happened in college football because Carolina played on Thursday. We will get back into some Carolina thoughts. I know Wes and Chris. I can't believe you guys. Like, we came in here Friday morning. The game had been over for like 35 minutes, and you were like, "Well, I was rewatching part of the game," and I was like, did you even have time to drive over here? Like, what were you? I don't understand. But anyway, I know you guys have some more thoughts from that game, so we'll get to that in just a minute as well. But Integrated Media is one of the terrific sponsors of what we do here on the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour.
Fortunately, with so much college football action this weekend and other sports like the defending world champion Braves, as Wes mentioned earlier, sweeping, that's 3-0 the Mets. Hopefully you had a great setup in terms of your televisions. I know I had 2 TVs and a phone going. Probably should have had more because there was a lot going on in my household from a sports standpoint. But if you did not have that and you would like to be able to set up multiple TVs, make sure your streaming signal is good enough. Wireless speakers from Sonos, whole home internet, even security features. Hit the guys up, Michael and Nathan at Integrated Media. That's integratedmediainc.com or 803-948-8327. I've told y'all in the past, they've got a great setup in my upstairs, all the old video game systems on a switcher, so you don't have to worry about all the wires and everything. That is honestly one of the coolest things that Integrated Media does. If they can give you a wireless solution, they're going to do it. But when you have to have wires, we are still in a place where we have to, plug power cords up and things like that. It's probably going away soon, but we still have them now. They clean all that up for you. They hide them. They can do everything. So give those guys a call. Integrated Media, they specialize in smart home installation services all throughout the state, including here in the Midlands. Again, that's integratedmediainc.com and 803-948-8327. All
right, y'all want to do something wholly unoriginal that we don't ever really do on this show?
Sure.
Okay. You want to do a little stock up, stock down, because this was our first packed weekend of SEC football, a lot of in-conference matchups, and a lot of interesting results, in my opinion. So we'll go in order here just of how they're posted on like the ESPN Score Center for probably the game that surprised the most people this weekend, which is, of course, Georgia eking out a win against Missouri. And I don't know if we're going to go through every team. I'm just doing this on the fly because there were a lot of games I want to talk about. Is this more stock down for Georgia or more stock up for Missouri?
The answer is both, but I'll go more stock up for Missouri just to just hang in there with Georgia the way they did. Now I'll say this, you're watching that game as a completely neutral observer. When Missouri got down to the 1 first and goal and had to kick a field goal, I was like, they're not winning this game. Like, it's not happening. Like, you're in a position to beat the number 1 team in the country in your house. You need a big win. The second that happened, and I know they got a false start and it backed it up to the 6. If I'm the coaching staff, I'm saying I'm scoring a touchdown or nothing here. Like, it just felt that big to me. So in some ways, it did kind of feel like Georgia was just not playing well, as opposed to Missouri just playing great. But to me, Georgia should have been able to go out there and hammer them pretty well, based on what I thought Missouri was, even without playing well. And Missouri hung in there and really had a chance to win the game. So I'll go stock up Missouri, I guess.
I would agree. And, I didn't think Missouri was going to be really that good this year, but this is now, unfortunately, to bring it to a South Carolina perspective, this is a game that now looks scary. Not that I had it, that's a definite win, but it is one of the more winnable games on the schedule. Probably still is, but that is now firmly in the uh-oh category, I think, because you look at, like, Missouri beat Louisiana Tech handily. They pulled away in the second half. Louisiana Tech stinks. They're not very good. But their other losses are to Georgia, who's number one, and they, like Wes just laid out, had plenty of chances. They lost to Kansas State, who is 4-1, and they have beaten Oklahoma, and they beat Texas Tech. Like, Kansas State's a very good team this year. And their other loss was to that weird Auburn. They missed a chip shot field goal. They fumbled going in to win the game. Like, that was a weird game, and they lost, but they could have won. So I would say stock up Missouri as well. Has Georgia been super sharp the past 2 weeks? No, but I still think they're one of the best teams in the country.
Buy Georgia, sell Missouri.
Buy Georgia, sell Missouri. Okay.
Keep selling.
How'd your brother feel?
Indifferent. Wow. He was sort of indifferent. They have ascended to the point where it's like, oh, this is a little hiccup game.
Wow.
And it's interesting because him being a Georgia fan, I'm generalizing the rest of the fan base. They were always a little bit scary. It's like, oh, this is the game, we're gonna blow it. But he didn't feel that way this week.
Wow.
But to go on what Wes said, being years of a South Carolina fan, I recognize that feeling that all Missouri fans had when they did not score that touchdown.
Oh yeah,
that was definitely
that's the chance.
That was it.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
I really let myself believe though. I was like, oh,
you did?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. You know what I loved? Missouri. They ran the ball pretty well. They had a big run in there from one of their running backs that helped. But they even pointed this out on the broadcast. There were a couple times when Missouri was I guess they should have done it on the goal line. Maybe they did. But a couple times elsewhere in the field where it was just like, hey, here's a sixth offensive lineman. They're going to run the football. Here's a sixth offensive lineman. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. You can do that. You can just like, hey, we're running the football. We're not trying to trick you. We're just going to put another offensive lineman in there and run it. And it was in that moment I was like, maybe they're going to do it. Maybe they're just going to will themselves to victory here. All right, there's two games that I want to spend a little bit more time on. So let's go quickly on these two, and then we'll spend some more time on the other two big games of the weekend. Mississippi State 42-24 over Texas A&M. Big stock up Mississippi State or big stock down Texas A&M? Down.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Preston's pointing down with both hands over here. A&M, not just this game. A&M stock down for this season. I feel like they have not been able to find an offense. They have two what were supposed to be good quarterbacks on paper, but they just have not been able to get it going offensively. And I mean, golly, when you pay a guy the amount they paid Jimbo to come out there, the expectations are going to be borderline impossible to fulfill anyway. But I'm sitting here, the fans have got to be ticked off in A&M, and rightfully so. And I think, Jimbo, it's kind of weird, man. Like he's known as an offensive guy, but something is not clicking right with this offense.
Yeah.
And it's not that I've watched a ton of A&M football this year. I have frankly not, but outside looking in, it seems pretty ugly from out here.
Yeah, it's putrid.
In a rare occurrence, Preston coming with the stats.
Oh, good.
Oh, here we go.
Jimbo Fisher, Kevin Sumlin, 37-16 after 53 games.
Wow.
Except Jimbo is owed $95 million if they were to part ways.
Yeah, I think they paid Kevin Sumlin like $95 when he left. Negotiated the buyout. I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm actually going to go stock up Mississippi State here.
Yeah.
Just because I've felt like Texas A&M was overrated all season, so I wasn't surprised to see them lay an egg. Mississippi State might be that quiet team in the SEC West that no one was talking about, no one was paying attention to because their offense is completely ridiculous. But here they come. Like, they might have some juice.
Can we spend a second on this?
Yeah.
I said that statistic, and I don't think that it was the wrong move to go after Jimbo Fisher at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So can this just be a case of it not working, or maybe Jimbo not being as good as we thought he was, or maybe a little overinflated coming off of that? Does it have to be the case, or do we have to make it a referendum on like Texas A&M? Could it just be something they tried and it didn't work?
It could be if they didn't give him 10 years of guaranteed money.
Gotcha.
I think. I don't know.
Anybody else?
Yeah, it was like, so last year they had, they had the year that they had. They had the number one recruiting class, historic recruiting class. And they kind of were like, well, maybe LSU may look at Jimbo at some point, so let's give him even more money and even more years. And it probably wasn't necessary at the time. I mean, you probably didn't need to do that, right? But
no one else gets that or has gotten that or will ever get that again.
Well, look at what happened with Mel Tucker at Michigan State.
Crazy.
So they've got an estimate of $1 billion. What is it's $95 million for him too, right?
Yes.
Or somewhere around there. An overreaction. He had a really good year, and he gets all the credit for that. Kenneth Walker probably had something to do with that, but he had a really good year. But like his overall career arc, Mel Tucker hasn't. At least Jimbo's won a national title somewhere. Mel Tucker had the year at Colorado, and he was okay. He didn't have enough time to like build that program, but he had the year. He was okay. Michigan State hires him. He has one good year, and because of how crazy the carousel is nowadays, I've said this before. You're either extending a coach or firing him, and that's just kind of how it is. Will something happen at some point to where administrators start saying, no, you have a contract. This is your contract. When it comes time to extend you and it makes more sense, we will. But we're not there right now.
Yeah.
So now you have one good year and you're getting extended to where it's insane.
Well, that's the recruiting game. But I
Yeah.
will say, just because other people make the same mistake doesn't mean you should be absolved from making that mistake.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm just, kind of, so that's the question. Will somebody at some point put a stop to that?
Fingers crossed.
I'm still going stock down A&M.
Okay.
My only hope for them this season is somehow or another they end up 8-4 because that'd just be so funny.
Yeah.
Because that's the big joke. I just want
Yeah.
them to be 8-4 every year. I don't really care how.
That's going to be a stretch for them at this point. I've actually watched a lot of Texas A&M for whatever reason. I watched almost all of that Sam Houston State game, and the offense was terrible the whole time.
Question for the room:
Yeah.
after this Saturday, who do you have? Which game do you fear more, Texas A&M or Missouri?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, A&M feels strangely winnable all of a sudden. Was both games are at home? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the final score of the Texas A&M game will be 9-3. I don't know who's going to win it.
I gotta still say Missouri is more winnable. Just looking at the matchups, man. Like the way A&M has just pushed South Carolina around on both sides of the ball the last, I don't know how many years. A&M's still way more difficult, but it's funny. It's so interesting going into a season how we think we kind of have it figured out on paper, and then this game all of a sudden becomes way easier from your team's perspective. This game all of a sudden way more difficult, and you kind of have to see how it's all going to even out by the end. I did have another interesting thought on A&M. I mean, is there, and Pearson, you've watched a lot of them, you said, I have not. Is their QB play right now, how does it compare to what it was last year when they had Calzada, who basically they ran out of town by bringing in transfers, and they ran him out of town, and it's like, well, would they have been better off just sticking with him?
Yeah, Mac Johnson's not better than Zach Calzada. I'll say that for sure. The offensive line looks worse to me this year than it did last year. It just feels like Max Johnson's always under duress. I think that he's probably top of the league in pressure rate. It's definitely not better. I will say that much for sure. Like, would you have benefited from some continuity with Calzada over changing horses in the middle of the stream.
Yeah, it seems like Jimbo mismanaged that situation, right? Because they were trying to figure out whether or not they were going to bring in Max Johnson, who, by the way, South Carolina was involved with. They decide to bring him in. Calzada gets run up. Calzada, he had a solid year. He didn't win the job at Auburn, which is weird. Neither did Max Johnson.
But both of those guys lost the job to Haynes King. Last year, Haynes King got hurt, and this year he got benched. So.
Yeah. And that was the thing. So Jimbo had to weigh all these different things, including Haynes King, who was this big-time freshman. His dad's a high school coach in Texas, like all these different things. So it's pretty
it's crazy.
It's been interesting.
I'm feeling better and better about my Jimbo is Gene Chizik take from a couple weeks ago. It's a stretch, but I'm getting closer.
To that point, my guy Matt Coakley, if you listen, I appreciate the shout out. He just said we need to try and figure out what Jimbo's stats are, what his win-loss record is, minus Jameis Winston. And I would imagine it's not very good.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, he was the offensive coordinator for LSU who ran a bad offense. So is he?
Ooh.
Is he
up?
Heated up? He might be Gene Chizik.
Oh my God. I love it.
In a Rolex, though. He still has a nice watch.
That's true.
Still wears a nice watch.
803-404-6100. A little bit long here. A little more stock up, stock down from the weekend of SEC football next.
More of the Extra Point coming up next on 107.5 The Game.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and all-time leading rusher with exciting news.
If you suffer from chronic joint pain, Emmitt Smith wants to introduce you to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in biologic treatment for pain. I'm talking regenerative solutions that encourage your body to heal and repair itself. No medications, no surgeries, no downtime.
If you have pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, don't assume the old treatments are the only treatments. Learn more about how you can get lasting relief with biologic treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue.
Call to learn more about this exciting natural way to deal with chronic joint pain. Play golf without pain, walk upstairs without pain, play with your kids and grandkids without pain. Get back on your job without pain. Live your life pain-free. Call QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 803-281-6860. That's 803-281-6860. 803-281-6860.
South Carolina weather can be a little crazy. Make sure your biggest investment is protected. Call the guys in the powder blue trucks, the Guttermen. They've been providing top-notch service throughout the Midlands for over 40 years. Call the Guttermen today at 791-7147. That's 791-7147.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the Guttermen.
Hey Gamecock fans, this is William DiMaggio with Coldwell Banker Realty. Since 1985, my parents Danny and Karen Hood have been striving to give better than expected real estate service to our clients in the Midlands of South Carolina. In 2014, I joined them, and since then, the Hood team has consistently been recognized as the #1 Coldwell Banker Realty small team in the Carolinas. So if you want honesty, integrity, and results backed by experience in buying or selling real estate, call the Hood team at 803-730-2512 or online at thehoodteam.com.
Employee onboarding?
Automated.
Customer support?
Automated.
What if you could automate all your company's routine operation tasks and do it easily? Lead management?
Automated.
With Zapier, you can. Zapier is the leader in no-code automation. Connect over 5,000 apps, automate almost any workflow, and streamline your team's performance without hiring a developer and with no coding required. That's right. Zapier's templates make it simple for you to automate anything in minutes, no matter your level of expertise. Zapier eliminates routine tasks and frees your employees to focus on the bigger picture. And with Zapier's advanced security features and annual SOC 2 audits, your data is safe and secure. See why thousands of companies, including Slack, Salesforce, and HubSpot, trust Zapier to automate their businesses. Even complex tasks?
Automated with Zapier.
Try Zapier for free today at zapier.com/radio. That's zapier.com/radio. Zapier.com/radio.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Guys, want an effective, affordable way to get ED medication 100% online? Whether you're looking for Viagra or Cialis, or generic medications as effective as Viagra but 90% cheaper, You can find it all through HIMS. HIMS is your go-to for doctor-trusted treatments to help you treat ED. Get ED treatment for as low as $3 per use and save up to $1,000 per month with generic for Viagra versus the brand name at 4hims.com/radio. If prescribed, your medication will be shipped to your door in discreet packaging. Do it all online. No in-person appointments. Get hard results with HIMS or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/radio to get your first visit free. That's 4hims.com/radio to get started free. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen with Pearson Fowler, Chris Clark, and Wes Mitchell on the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
$11:42 on a Monday morning. Welcome back into the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour. Pearson, Preston, Wes, Chris here with you in the Herndon Chevy Studios, talking about a full slate of SEC games, a little stock up, stock down. Few more big games to get to still, but first, want to remind you, I'm very happy in my house where I live. I don't like moving; it can be very, very difficult. But Wes, if I were to come into the show and be like, "Hey, actually, we're moving, and I need some help moving because moving's not fun,"
yeah, you would just go to GamecockMoving.com, or you would call or text. This is my favorite part. You can just text them. You don't have to talk on the phone. 803-814-3569. Our friends at Gamecock Moving, they offer residential and commercial moving services. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Help you move anywhere in the state of South Carolina, as well as assist in coordinating for out-of-state moves. They treat your belongings as if they were their own. All their guys are trained W-2 employees. They provide labor only in case clients just need help loading and unloading their truck. Whatever it is you need. Again, like I've told everybody several times, they can either pack it all up and unpack it for you, or they can just quite literally pick your stuff up, throw it in the truck gently, and then unload it at your house as well. So again, GamecockMoving.com, 803-814-3569. They helped assist in our move, and they can certainly help you do the same.
All right, real quick. LSU, stock up, stock down. They beat Auburn 21-17, or stock neutral.
Stock is, I'll say the last few weeks, stock has steadily risen, probably got written off a bit because the early loss to Florida State. Stock is rolling back up. They're always going to have talent, as much as I do not enjoy Brian Kelly at all. He's a good coach.
I don't know when I became Brian Kelly guy, but I'm
You're a Brian Kelly guy?
I don't know. I don't like him at all, but
okay.
He's just a good coach, and I'll keep buying stock on good coach.
Chris?
I'm stock neutral.
Stock neutral?
Beating Auburn right now doesn't do a lot for me.
All right, so he has Auburn stock neutral or stock down?
Down.
Plummeting.
Well, if anything, I thought
after losing to LSU,
Auburn hung in better than I thought they would, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they at least beat Missouri, but it didn't feel like it.
The real question is, were Auburn fans happy to win, or do they want to be losing now?
Oh, man, they're like Panther fans. They're tanking, except they don't get the number one pick in the draft. They just maybe get to get rid of Brian Harsin again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stock up, stock neutral, Alabama after a 49-26 win against Arkansas.
Stock neutral, potentially stock down. I don't know. I mean, they're Alabama. They're going to be there at the end. But what's the status on Bryce Young?
Well, that's why I feel like stock up, because they were able to have a win like that with Bryce Young getting hurt in the second quarter.
Yeah, I feel like that changes the entire calculus on the season.
Yeah, that's true.
Depending on if he's going to be out for a while.
It's an AC joint, right? What is that, like 6 weeks?
And all they tend to have like miracle cures that they come up with in Alabama. Like they completely redefined the way to fix an ankle
Healing
a couple of years ago. But that, depending on how severe, that can be something I would think that could really linger for a quarterback.
Yeah, the conversation when I saw the backup quarterback, he took off. He had an 80-yard run. He had some wheels, but he cannot throw the ball.
That's going to be an issue.
And that's going to be an issue if that's something that they have to rely on consistently.
Okay.
So I'm
stock
going
down for injury.
Going stock down for injury.
Okay.
Speed to burn, though. Good.
Oh, yeah,
he
for
can
sure.
run.
Ridiculous.
Man
For
can
sure.
run.
That should have been like a 6-yard run.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna go stock down, but not by much.
Okay. Arkansas.
Arkansas has Ole Miss this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stock neutral.
Arkansas' schedule sucks.
It's tough. I've got neutral. I'm gonna
me
concur
too.
with Wes.
Down.
Down because they couldn't do more with Bama with the backup in.
They had a chance to get into that game. They played themselves tough. And I guess maybe a reason why I might say stock neutral is because they didn't quit.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't lay down. There was a chance for them to do that, so I respect that for sure. I don't like them going into this Ole Miss game. I think Ole Miss is trending upwards and Arkansas is trending downwards.
That field goal doesn't hit the top of the goalpost. Like we're having a different conversation because winning 2 out of 3. Oh, it's Mississippi State actually, not Mississippi. But yeah, winning 2 out of 3 in that stretch would be huge. And now you're talking about losing 2 or 3 of them.
So my thoughts are still the same though. Still,
Mississippi State looks. I mean, they're definitely
thing.
going to be ranked this week. They look good. They're 4-1 now. Wes, stock up, down, neutral on Arkansas.
Neutral.
Okay. I just want it to happen. As much as I love jumping on the downtrending bandwagon for A&M because I didn't think they were going to be that good this year. I was bullish on Arkansas, and so I'm just hoping that they end up being good because it's more fun to be right than wrong. But they've just got a tough draw though. That's really tough. Texas A&M, Alabama, at Mississippi State, 2 of those on the road. Then they go at BYU, and they have at Auburn, Liberty, LSU, and then Ole Miss and at Missouri. So if they can hold serve here, they got some winnable games on the back half.
For sure, but having to play BYU and Liberty out of conference is not. They could have done themselves that's not great.
That's true.
If something's sliding or if they're running into the back half or something like that, Liberty might slip up on them. I wouldn't want to see them.
Yeah. One more SEC game to go. One more, I guess, in-conference game because we don't need to talk about Florida and Eastern Washington. How much of that game did y'all watch yesterday?
Florida?
Yeah.
0.
I watched 0 snaps. Yep.
I forgot it was on.
Accurate.
Yeah. Totally forgot about it. Watching NFL all day yesterday. All right, last SEC game of the weekend. The game of the weekend. Does it say more about Kentucky? Does it say more about Ole Miss? Next.
More of the Extra Point coming up next on 107.5 The Game.
Hey, it's Terry Ford from 107.5 The Game with our buddy Adam Vance from Sound and Images. Okay, Adam, we all know Sound and Images as an events company, but you're more than that, aren't you?
Sound and Images is a commercial audiovisual installation company. One thing that's really going on strong now is LED walls. Sound and Images is a big provider and installer of LED walls, both indoors and outdoors.
If you want to reach out to Adam Vance, just go to soundandimages.net or call 803-791-3925.
It's hunting season, and Shooter's Choice in West Columbia has everything you possibly want and then some at great prices, sold to you by a staff that is friendly and knowledgeable. Shooter's Choice in West Columbia is the place for you. Shooter's Choice has all you need for dove and deer season. Check out their great selection of hunting rifles, ARs, and much more, plus top-end accessories to complement your purchase. Make this the best hunting season ever with Shooter's Choice. Make it your first choice, your best choice. Shooter's Choice.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, count on the experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine to get you moving again. Our highly specialized physicians offer comprehensive care for patients at 5 convenient locations throughout the Midlands. Whether you're an athlete looking to return to your sport after injury or someone who needs help for knee, hip, elbow, shoulder, or foot pain, we're here for you. Our expert team can get you better sooner. Visit lexmed.com/ortho to learn more.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm self-employed, and we got sidetracked on our taxes at the 2008 recession, and it became a monster that we couldn't tackle ourselves. We heard about the Ecton Law Firm on the radio and contacted John. If you could classify someone as a miracle worker, I would put him at the top of the list because he took our problem and resolved it for us with our not only our unpaid taxes, but our unfiled tax returns from previous years. And I would highly recommend the Ecton Law Firm.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
What a better way to cheer on the Gamecocks than with your own Traeger grill. Grill out with the family and friends. Old Timey Meat has plenty of Traeger grills in stock. Plenty of pellets, rubs, sauces, and accessories too. Come by Old Timey Meat Market in Lexington today to take a look at the many sizes of Traeger grills. Old Timey Meat, Traeger grills, and Gamecock football. A perfect combination.
Old Timey Meat Market. Quality selection. A cut above the rest.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour. Presented by Firehouse Subs. Founded by firemen with Pearson Fowler, Chris Clark, and Wes Mitchell on the home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
11:53 on a Monday morning. Reaction Monday, but not to a South Carolina game. Full weekend of college football. A lot of good SEC games on display this weekend. Although, coming back to the Carolina game, did we recap a buy or sell Friday?
Yes.
We did?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
How'd everybody do?
Everybody got everything right.
Great. Good
Not
for
really.
us.
I think you won this one, Pearson.
Did I?
I think.
I don't think we went over it.
Preston, did you win this one? Preston went
I think that's
undefeated.
right.
He went undefeated, I think.
Wow. Well,
yeah, we went
round of
over it.
applause and first down. Okay, well, Wes, you can still tell people about Kindle, right?
Of course. My good friend Kendall Walsh, she helped us buy a home. She's helping one of my family members sell a home right now. So she can do the same for you. The Moore Company, 803-414-3590, workwithwalsh@gmail.com. That's also her Twitter, and her Instagram is @workwithwalsh. You may know Kendall back when she was Kendall Belk with the Gamecock Club. She's a huge Gamecock fan, and she helped walk us through what is frankly a daunting process, and made it very, very simple. Was there every step of the way, pointing out stuff about houses that I never would have even known that I should notice. So she can do the same for you. I can put my personal recommendation on using Kendall Walsh as your realtor. Again, the Moore Company, 803-414-3590. Shout out to Kendall. And again, give her a shout. She'll take care of you.
Kentucky Ole Miss, was this the only stock up and stock up game of the weekend in the SEC?
Is that where it is for you? Stock up both
I'm
ways?
just asking. Just being provocative. It's always stock down for Kentucky for me.
Chris?
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, I would say yeah. Or you could say Kentucky stock neutral. You know, like you lose a game by 3 on the road. You had a chance to win. You fumbled it away a couple times.
to win.
The last 3 possessions ended in turnovers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't typically do stock down for teams that go on the road, have a chance to win, lose by a score against a good team. I don't know that you should be super penalized for that. So I'll go stock up Ole Miss and neutral for Kentucky.
Where are we on Will Levis on this show?
Oh boy.
Why do you say oh boy, Chris?
I heard the segment.
I didn't hear the segment, but
no, we know you don't listen.
Where I like to come in fresh.
Yeah.
Where are
true.
you? Give me a quick summary. Where are we at?
Overrated. I've never understood the hype. I can't say that. I bought the hype when he transferred from Penn State. I thought that was going to usher in a new era of Kentucky football, and he has not made that much of a difference, in my opinion. I don't think he's very good. Well, I should say I don't think he's that good.
I think we've reached the point. Here's where I am. Like, I think he was a great addition to Kentucky's offense. Like, I think he was and is an upgrade in a lot of ways for them. But I think we have now gone to the point to where we've it was like ESPN was like, we're gonna make this guy into a top 5 pick.
I mean, Todd
the
Blackwood
broadcast.
said on the broadcast he might be the number 1 quarterback in the draft, and I was like, the number 1 quarterback taken in the 6th round? Like, what are you talking about?
They were talking about he's going to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and I turn my TV off.
It's almost like he's like a member of like a political party where they're like, "This is our candidate."
It's a you know
and
what?
he's being like, "We are
is?
going to prop him up." You know,
Is he being backed by Big Mayonnaise?
There you go.
See,
I don't understand.
now you're coming around.
I told Preston, in all honesty, like no matter how good Will Levis is or isn't, like I will always hold the mayonnaise thing against him because I think it's disgusting. I think he's doing it for attention. I think it's shameful.
I actually agree with Pearson.
It might be one of those
first down.
No, ding.
Oh, ding.
Yeah, ding. A ding. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it might be a thing where people. You remember when? And I'm not saying that. I'm not comparing Will Levis and Josh Allen, but remember when Josh Allen came out? Lots of arguments about him because they were like, "Wow, this kid's a giant. He can throw the ball to the moon," and which he can. And some people were like, well, he was only, I don't know, he was like 50% completion at Wyoming. They were like, what's going to happen when he gets to the NFL? Turns out he is very good. So maybe it's like his tools that they're in love with.
Exactly. Like DeMarcus Russell.
But are his tools, does he have Josh Allen tools?
No, he doesn't.
I didn't think so.
Who Will Levis is? Will Levis is Drew Lock.
Without numbers?
Yeah, he doesn't even have the Drew Lock numbers. But when you break down, like, here's what he does against good teams. Here's what he does against Drew Lock was 700 yards and 70 touchdowns against Southeastern Missouri State every single year he was at Missouri, and he'd finish the season with like 4,000 yards. And it's like, well, 1,400 of those came against Southeastern Missouri State and St. Louis High, like garbage. And now he's terrible because he always was. Anyway, that's my Will Levis take. Thank you for asking, Wes.
Yeah, I think we've gone well above what he probably really is. Now he may make us eat those words.
Yeah, I mean he probably will against South Carolina, but either way, like people are really trying to make fetch happen with Will Levis, and I don't get it. So I was happy to see Kentucky lose this weekend. We are out of time here on a Monday. We'll be back to talk more Carolina tomorrow. Start to dig into Kentucky and what has become it's kind of a second hate week for Carolina fans in Columbia. So appreciate you listening. That's all we have time for, and the halftime show is coming up next.
Celebrating our 15th anniversary is Columbia Sports Talk.